My name is Bonnie Brzozowski, and I'm a librarian at the Corvallis Benton County Public Library. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fold a few different types of mini books, otherwise known as zines. The library is also going to be providing kits with the materials you need to create a zine yourself at home. I'm also going to tell you today about a unique opportunity to contribute pages to a library-published zine that we're going to be publishing in September that we're calling the Benton County Quarantine. It's going to be a collection of pages created by members of the community just like you about their experiences over the last few months among things like stay-at-home orders, protests, and COVID-19. And that opportunity is available to teens, 6th grade and up, all the way to adults of any age. Before I tell you more about that and we actually fold some zines together, I want to give a huge thanks to the Art Center for making Arts Alive possible this year. The library is really excited to be here making and celebrating art with you, and we're really grateful to the Art Center for making something like this possible when we can't be together in person. And before I truly dive in, I do want to note that the library has its own special summer fun. We call it Summer at Your Library. It's a reading and activities challenge for all ages, including adults. When you go to this website here, you can sign up and you can get a free book bag and the book of your choice while supplies last. And we have some really great choices if you want to go check it out. We'll deliver that to your home. You also, if you sign up, you get a chance to win prizes and you get entered into those prize drawings by completing reading and activities. So I hope that you'll check it out, get signed up, get your free book. We're doing prize drawings every month this summer and it's through August 31st. So check it out. Okay, so let's really dive in. What are zines? Zines are basically books that you make yourself using materials you usually already have at home. So paper, pen, that's it. It's pretty easy. They're very low tech. Zines are really cool because anyone can make them and anyone can share them. That's why the library loves them so much. You can put anything that you want in a zine. It can be your writing, it can be your art, collage, comics, you can tell a story, it can simply just be pictures, it can be anything you want. The possibilities are endless. Zines are just a way to express yourself and then share that expression with other people. So, let's take a look. Let's actually fold some zines. Let me show you what we're gonna fold. So we're going to fold the most basic zine of all that you've all probably folded many, many times, and I'll show you in a second. Then we're going to fold an 8-page zine. This is the pre-folded zine that's already in your kit, though not decorated, but we'll show you how to fold that one as well so you know how to fold it yourself. Then we'll do a 16-page zine, and this is actually just a variation on the 8-page zine and just gives you a number of more pages that you can play around with if that's your preference. Then finally, something a little non-traditional in terms of book, looking like a book. This is sort of your pull tab note or pull tab zine, however you want to describe it. And what's cool about it is it's just sort of to show you that a zine doesn't have to be in a traditional container that looks just like a book. It can be in really any container you want that's easy for you to share. So this, for example, I said it's a pull tab, so you pull this tab here. And so, for example, like as I pull it out, I could slowly tell a story as it gets unfolded, or use this space in a really creative, unique way. So we'll fold that last one, we'll fold this one last at the end. So let's get started with what I said is the most basic zine ever that you've probably all folded a billion times, and it's simply taking a standard piece of paper. This is a 9x12 construction paper, but any printer paper would work as well, or really any rectangular paper. It's taking a piece of paper like this, and from portrait orientation, giving it a fold. We also sometimes call this hamburger style, so the shorter end down, give it a crease, bam, we've got the easiest book in the whole world, a little 4-pager booklet. This is the reason I wanted to show you this, because I'm sure you know how to fold a book this way, is to let you know that this is the size of page that we're looking for the Benton County Quarantine, which I also promised I would tell you a bit more about. So the Benton County Quarantine is a project where the library is going to publish and distribute a zine of pages just like this, submitted from people like you. And as I said, that's teens, 6th grade and older, all the way through adults of any age. You may submit one page, so one half page of a standard piece of paper, up to all 4 pages. So find a piece of construction paper, find a piece of printer paper, fold it in half, and you can submit one all the way up to all 4 pages full. If you go to this website, we have a lot more information about how to contribute, but here's just kind of some words that sprang to mind when I thought about these times. And what we're wanting to know, what have these times meant to you? Share your story. What has impacted you? How have you been impacted? How do you see the future now? Any of these questions you could try to tackle. Or it could just be really light and about sort of a slice of life of what your time is like now. So really anything you want to contribute, up to 4 pages. You can submit via email if you want to scan your page in, or you can mail them to us. And we're asking for these submissions by August 31st. We're going to print and distribute it at locations to be determined in September is the goal. And then we'll also make it available online so you can check it out online. So I hope you'll contribute to that. So now let's actually really fold something a little bit more complex, and that's our 8-page zine. So for this one, I'm going to use a piece of construction paper. So this is a 9x12, as I think I may have said earlier. This is about as thick as you can get and still get a pretty good result. If you have a really thick piece of paper like a cardstock, it can be a little bit harder to fold these very precisely, just a heads up. So a thinner paper up to a construction paper is really more ideal. So now that we have our paper, we're going to first start by folding it in half, what we call hot dog way. We're in landscape orientation now with the longer side up top. We're going to pull that long side down to the other end and make a crease. And just to note that the sharper your folds at this point, the more lined up and symmetrical your pages are going to be. But also, if you don't get super symmetrical pages, that's totally fine. That's kind of the beauty of a zine. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's supposed to be unique and yours, and those imperfections, we should just embrace them. So go ahead and unfold from that hot dog, and then now let's do a hamburger fold. Great. Go ahead and open it back up. That hamburger crease we just made is going to be our guide for the next 2 folds. We're going to take the left side and the right side, and we're going to fold them in to that crease that we just made. So using it as a guide, as I said. So I'm going to take my right side, fold it in, take a second to get it lined up. That looks about right. Give it a crease. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take the left side in to that hamburger fold crease that we made earlier and give it a crease here. Great. So unfold, go back to our hamburger fold. And now this is where we're going to make our cut or our tear. So I'm going to use scissors here, and starting from where the creased edge is all the way into this fold here. So I'm going to make one cut just like that. You can also make a tear, as I said. In fact, it kind of gives it a nice little rustic look. If you fold it both directions on that line, that'll help you get a better, cleaner tear. I'm going to go ahead and make my cut though, because I do have some scissors handy. Now go ahead and open it back up and go back to our lovely hot dog style fold. We've got this nice hole at the top that we just cut. You can actually push it towards each other. These are going to form your pages. You can either just start kind of folding it on top of each other, or you can kind of crease these pages and then fold, whatever works for you. Whatever seems to go better, and get that nice and folded. And bam, we've got a lovely 8-page book. If you want, you can actually label each page, so like front, page 1, page 2, etc. And then that allows you to actually unfold And then you can work like this, knowing which page is which, rather than having to work in the book format. It also just kind of allows you to make like real, if you want to do like a continuous drawing across a few pages, it gives you the ability to do that. So enjoy. Now let's go to the 16-page book. So this is just a slight variation, well, maybe more than slight, but it's a variation on what we did a minute ago. Need another piece of paper. 8.5 by 11 to 9 by 12 will work fine. Really, any rectangle though will work as long as it's not very small, because we're making something pretty small, so it's going to be hard if you're working with a small piece of paper. We're going to start the exact same way that we did before. I think we started this way before. Yeah, we did. We did a hot dog fold. So let's do a hot dog fold. Again, the more precise your folds, the more symmetrical your pages are going to be, the better they're going to line up if that's important to you. So one fold, and then we're actually going to do one more. So from that creased edge, take it down to the other end. There we go. Then we're going to unfold. Going to go to the portrait orientation so we can make 2 hamburger folds, similar to how we just did those hot dog folds. So I'm going to take this side and bring it to the other side and give it a fold in half. Try to line it up a little bit better than I was doing. There we go. And give it one more. So taking the creased down to the other edge. Great. And so now you can go ahead and unfold. And so you can see these are actually going to become our pages, all these little squares here now that we have with our creases, that we've made with our creases. Now go back to that hot dog fold again. Great. And so now we're going to use the scissors again, or tears are fine too if you don't have scissors with you. We're going to make 3 cuts in this case. And they're going to be along these lines here. So 1, and we're going to stop here. 2, and we're going to stop. 3, and we're going to stop. So that's 3 cuts. Again, if you want to go ahead and open it up now that we've got our 3 cuts. Great. And we want to be on the side where this kind of flips up a little bit, where your crease in the middle is going up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut these 2 middle sections we just created. We really created 4 sections. We're going to create the 2 middle. We're going to cut the 2 middle ones. So we're going to cut right along the lines. And a tear is just fine too. Make a tear if you don't have scissors. So now you've got these 4 little flaps in the middle. We're actually just going to fold these to the sides. So I'm going to fold the flaps on the right to the right side. I'm going to try to line them up as best as I can with the edge of the paper. Just because that, again, will give me more symmetrical, better lined up pages at the end if that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to fold these other flaps to the left side. And now I'm done. And I'm going to flip this over so that these flaps are on the opposite side. And I'm going to look at it in portrait orientation. So portrait orientation should have a rectangular hole in the middle. Now we're going to fold this 1/4 of a ways down. So you've already got the crease there. That's going to be your guide. Use that to fold this downward and make a crease. And we're going to do the same thing with the opposite side. I just flipped it around to make it a little easier for me to make the fold. And here we go. And make a crease. And then we're going to just fold this in half. Just like that. And give it a little crease. And now if you hold it up, you should have, similar to like the 8-page one that we made, you should have this nice hole right here. In this case, our folds were made the reverse direction, so it does resist you a little bit more to make these folds, but you can do it. So push together and then kind of shape into a book. Get your fold. Try to make sure you can see me. That's my other page. Wrap it around. Just kind of crease and get it all as flat as possible. And then here we are. We've got a nice little 16 pager. And again, you want to label those pages and then unfold and do your art or writing or whatever it is that you're adding to your zine. That can give you a pretty cool result if you want to try it that way. So now, very finally, we have our wonderful pull tab note. This one here. So we're going to make this very unconventional zine format. Again, 8.5 by 11, 9 by 12 will work. For this particular one, you need a rectangular sheet of paper of some kind. And smaller rectangles, if you have smaller paper, that can actually work for the pull tab, if that's the way you want to go. We are going to start with, guess it, a hot dog fold. Yup. Hot dogging again. Bam. And we're going to unfold, just like we've done so many times. We're so practiced at this now. We're going to use this fold as a guide for our next 4 folds. The 4 folds are going to be taking each corner to the line. So corner to line, corner to line, corner to line. So let's start with the first one. Corner to the line. Fabulous. Okay, and now we're going to take the center pieces, so these pieces here, and we're going to make 2 folds. We're going to fold this down to the line and this down to the line. So taking the top part, take it down to the line, give it a crease. Same deal here. Taking that center, taking it to the line, and giving it a crease. Great, so you should have a shape similar to this. Now our 2 points are at the left and at the right. We're going to take these and fold them in. You've actually kind of got this nice little triangle shape here. We're taking this triangle shape into this triangle shape. So let me show you. And we've got something sort of resembling an envelope. Now flip that around to this side here. And it's a little difficult to tell on my camera the way my lighting is, but you can actually see a guide for the next few folds. It's reflected from the bottom. And there's a line here, and there's a line right here. And that's kind of showing me how I'm going to fold. So I'm going to fold this into thirds. So watch me here. I'm going to take, so I can actually see this line here from some other folds that we made. I'm going to fold it right about there. You'll actually find that when you make these folds, it kind of naturally wants to fold this way because of the way we've made our other folds. So fold it back. I'm going to take the opposite side and do the same thing. So again, I can kind of see that I have a little line in here that I can sort of use as a guide if I'd like. But really, it sort of naturally folds that direction because of the way we've been folding. And so now I've got it kind of folded into thirds. So, and now it's really ready to go. It's ready for me to tuck in. So I'm going to use this side. So these become our little pockets on one side. And then, but you can also, the other side can be your pockets too. So choose whichever side you want to be your pockets. And then you put the other piece into those pockets. Tuck it right in. And we've got a pull tab note, pull tab zine, whatever you'd like to call it. So there you have it. Some pretty easy to make zines that you can fill with absolutely anything. What's so cool about this is what you'll put inside them. I really hope that you will share some of the amazing zines that you're creating with the Benton County Quarantine. Please submit a page. We really want to see your work and we want to be able to share our stories with each other. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and learning just a little bit about zines. If you want to learn more about the history of zines and see some examples of other zines, I would suggest actually just doing a Google search for history of zines. The first 2 results are an article from Mental Floss, which is pretty good, and then the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's Rare Book blog has a nice post on the history of zines that I think is like the 2nd or 3rd result when you do a Google search. So give that a try and you can really see some very cool examples and some examples that are historical as well, because this has been a way of people sharing information for a very long time. So it's really cool. I hope you'll check it out. I can't wait to see your contribution to the Benton County Zine. Please don't forget to sign up for Summer at your library to claim your free book and complete activities and read for entries into our prize drawings. I'm so glad we could spend this time together. Thanks again to the Art Center for making this possible. Stay safe and take care. Thank you so much.